Hello sweet friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ashley Ardell and I'm a junior genetics major at Clemson University, and I am just so thankful that you are here and watching this video with me today. So today is going to be a very exciting video. Today I'm going to be doing a little plan with me for 2022. So we are going to be putting all of our big dreams, all of our big goals onto paper for the new year. So I'm going to show you what it looks like to create goals and how we can take a huge vision that we have for a year, a huge vision that we have for ourselves, and kind of shrink it down into something that is much more manageable for us and a little less overwhelming. So I'm going to take you through all of the steps and the different processes that I take to goal plan for a new year. And this year I just really wanted to put everything onto paper so that I could create little actionable habits for myself every single day and hopefully create some sort of habit tracker as well. So for those of you who are new, I do bullet journal. So I have my bullet journal here, which I usually just use for planning academic stuff. So I will do monthly spreads and I will also do weekly spreads on here. I also added to my bullet journal this year some of the books that I've read in the year of having the bullet journal. So I won't be starting with a new one in January. I actually start with the new bullet journal in the summer, so it goes through a school year, an academic calendar instead of a traditional calendar. So I have this bullet journal which I actually plan things out in. But today I'm going to be taking you along with me as I plan my goals and visions for the year, which I do in a different journal, which I will show you. I also apologize for the lighting in here. My room is not like the brightest place to film videos for you, but I hope you can bear with me while I'm home and enjoy. I actually made this screen for my laptop for the month of January, and it's actually on my blog. You can download it for your MacBook there, so ashleyardell.com, and that is posted there under the freebies tab, which is super exciting. So I'm going to show you a few different close-ups as well as just take you along talking through with you here how I plan out and minimize the overall project into sub goals. So one thing that I think is really helpful for the new year when you're trying to plan what you want to do is first just write all your goals, kind of brain dump everything, all your goals, all your visions, all the things that you are hoping to achieve in the new year, or that you would like to implement into your own life in the new year, and just dump all of those onto one piece of paper. And once you get all of those written down, then you can pull from that list of different things and kind of create little habits to go with each one that you can begin implementing into your daily life. And you can even break those up by quarters, so quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4 throughout the year. So you can say, okay, I'm gonna pull these 3 goals that I wrote here to do in quarter 1, and the other visions that I had for myself, they might be long running for the whole year, but I'm gonna put these smaller sub goals in quarter 1 and these sub goals in quarter 2, and kind of split up your goals in your year that way. I also really like to break things up by habits. So if I can take a goal and a vision, so instead of just saying something like, oh, like I want to be healthier in the new year, like I want to be at my healthiest and in the best shape, something like that, to take it and make a goal habit focused makes it a lot more achievable. So taking that goal and changing it into things like drinking 64 ounces of water a day, or working out 5 days a week, or following a meal plan 80% of the time, things like that. Those little goals or habits that you could put into some sort of habit tracker so that you can keep yourself accountable for those things every single day, so that you are working on that goal throughout all of the year and throughout your whole week, and you're being reminded of those, and eventually they just kind of become part of your everyday lifestyle, which is great. I'm going to go ahead and take this blank piece of paper here. So I like to just use like a blank printer paper so that I'm not really restricted to anything. I can just write and brain dump everything that I would really love to achieve on this piece of paper, and then from there we'll get into breaking it down into smaller things. But let's go ahead and do this brain dump. So now that I have written out kind of all of the major large goals that I have for myself in like these huge dreams on paper, I can kind of pick and choose a few of them to create small habits under each one, or kind of coming off the side that could help me achieve those goals. I really want to start a podcast in the new year. That's something I'm really excited about. I have created some episodes already for you, so I'm really excited to learn more about podcasting and potentially begin posting a podcast sometime in the near future. So that is hopefully something that's going to come. But I would take something like start a podcast, and then I would take this pen and draw arrows off of it, kind of like a web map of sorts or a mind map of sorts, to take actionable steps. So like record episodes, or create a podcasting account, edit recordings, just different things like that that are actionable steps that I would need to take, or something like post 2 podcast episodes a month. So just something like that to kind of get me kick-started in that regards of something that I could add to different quarters. So maybe I'm not going to focus on starting a podcast in Q1 of the year, so maybe not January through March, but maybe I'm going to begin that in April, so the second quarter. But I can kind of decide. I'll probably go through this right now and make a few kind of sub goals for each of these things, and then I'll go through and decide which ones are going to fall in what quarter, or what things are just kind of habits for throughout the year overall. I'm going to take this orange pen and I'm going to go and write some of those sub goals off to the side here. Goals like growing closer with my small group, getting a summer internship, being more God focused, taking the GRE, so that's a big goal as far as academics go. So I can break up all of these. So as far as taking the GRE, I know that I could put something like take a practice test, create a study plan, sign up for the GRE. So those are all different actionable steps. And then eventually you're going to have a mind map of sorts where you have written out just kind of all these different goals and these different habits, and that you have all these different goals and habits that are steps you can take towards actually achieving the things that you want to achieve for the new year. So I really love this kind of mind mapping technique for creating goals for the new year and kind of big visions that you have for yourself. If your vision is to buy a car in the new year, you can write something like that, like buy a car, and then you can branch off of that the different ways that you are planning to actually achieve that dream or actually achieve that goal. So that's kind of been one of the biggest things that I will do, is I will just take this sheet of paper, write all the things that I really, really want to achieve in the new year. And then from there, I draw out all the little ways that I'm going to actually work on making that goal happen for me in the year. So the next step, after you have kind of figured out the ways that you are going to achieve those goals, is to figure out when you want to start working on them. Because I have a pretty large list of things here for the year of 2022 as a whole, but I'm not going to be able to start those like immediately on January 1st, being able to just start working on all of these projects at one time. So I will break up and work on just a few of them at a time. So I might work on 3 goals between January and March, and then maybe another 3 from April to June, and that sort of thing. So my plan is to just work on a few goals every quarter instead of trying to overwhelm myself, because that's a huge problem. And a lot of the reason that we don't stick to or make these goals happen is because we try to just achieve everything we want to in January, and it's overwhelming and we cannot do that. So you have to kind of slowly ease yourself into it. What are some habits that you can start implementing right away, right now, today, that will eventually become full-on habits that you don't really have to think about anymore? You're just doing it, which is great. So those things are self-sustaining. In the next quarter, you begin adding on a few more, and so on and so on. So that is the plan. So once you have all of this mapped out and you have your steps to take in order to actually achieve those, I recommend taking another color pen and kind of writing a little asterisk for yourself. So you might write a little asterisk at the bottom that says red is for quarter 1, and then you would go through and highlight the goals that you wanted to achieve in quarter 1. For 1, I might take something that is academically focused, something that's socially focused, as well as something that is passion driven. So something like working on YouTube or my blog, and then academic focus would be like the GRE. Socially focused might be like pouring into my small group girls more in the new year. Different goals and different areas are important to focus on, and make sure that you are including all of those in every single quarter. So in my quarter 1, I am definitely going to be taking the GRE. I'm going to be focused on my small group, and I'm really going to be working on YouTube and Instagram as far as my passions go. So growing those, which does mean posting more and doing things like that. So now that I have those things kind of sectioned off for quarter 1 goals, and I have the actionable steps needed to take those, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a habit tracker for myself for each month that is going to include each of these different habits and these steps that I need to work on to actually make that happen. So with YouTube, that's posting twice a week, so I'll have my weekly habit tracker, and I can kind of check off that I did post twice a week. Or for Instagram, posting 5 days a week, I can go ahead and check off or color in the days that I did post to Instagram, so that I'm keeping myself accountable. Eventually those will just become habits. Steps for the GRE, I might just go through my planner and pick days that I'm going to focus on achieving the tasks necessary for that. And then as far as things with my small group, I said that I was going to do something with them monthly outside of our small group meeting, so I could allot for that in my weekly or monthly trackers as well, just to make sure that I'm keeping myself accountable. I could go ahead and plan one of those events for January. So those are just some examples of ways for me to keep myself accountable and actually achieve the dreams and the goals that I have for 2022. So I hope that you found this video for goal planning and vision planning for the new year helpful. You are going to keep yourself accountable, and you are going to see those things, and you're going to see this planned out list. You could even post this somewhere at the front of a journal or something like that, so that you would have this to look at and just review every single quarter when you are planning, so you can kind of assess in quarter 2 where you at with those goals, how can you change and make new goals moving forward, what things need to be rearranged, all of those different questions that you can ask yourself as you are entering quarter 2. So we'll definitely come back in quarter 2 to kind of reassess where we are at with our goals. But of course, I wish you all the best in the new year with achieving those dreams and those visions for yourself. I'm so excited to see just where you're going to go in the new year and what you're going to achieve. I just have a feeling that it's going to be really big things, and God is just going to move in some incredible ways. So I'm just praying over all of you and all of your dreams for the new year, that it would just be the best yet. So I just want you to remember to go live boldly, fearlessly, and authentically you. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.